Welcome back, everyone, to this edition of Double Jab Radio. We are live in the Journeymen Boxing Studios. I'm Rich Quinones as we continue to talk a little female boxing. We have a great guest on the line. She is arguably one of the best bantamweights, super bantamweights in the world. Shelly Vincent joins us for a couple moments, and she's doing some great things inside the ring. 13-0, fresh off a UBF title against Jackie Trivilino, and Shelly joins us for a couple moments and just got out of the gym. So extra thank you for making some time with us on this edition of Double Jab Radio. And how's everything going? And talk a little bit about that win against Jackie and getting another belt on your belt.
All right. Well, first of all, thank you for having me on and talking to me. I just got out the gym. I try to stay in the gym constantly, trying to constantly stay busy so that anything pops up, you can jump on that. I just won against Jackie Trivilino. That girl is tough. It was definitely the hardest fight that I've been into to date. She came out southpaw, and she turned right hand, and we went back and forth, trading. Great fight. I think people just want to see it again. It was a pass off to Jackie Trivilino. She's a tough girl.
It's interesting, too, because especially in men's boxing, when there's a quick knockdown, a quick fight, people don't really want to see a rematch. Even if it's a title fight, I mean, yeah, you'll get your rematches, you'll get your trilogies over the years. But, in female boxing, we do see a lot of girls, they might wind up fighting their opponent 2, 3, heck, even 4 times in their career. And I think it's interesting because it kind of gives you an idea where you already know your opponent. There's already a familiarity, so you really don't have to see anything differently coming. If you were to fight Jackie again, what would you do different, even though you came out with the win?
I mean, she came out southpaw, so I've never been in with a southpaw. I've never worked with a southpaw before, so it was smart on her part, and I was confused. But as soon as I figured her out, I kind of controlled the whole rest of the fight. Like, I think the whole 6 rounds, 6 to 10, I think that I had all those rounds, but I was confused at first. I mean, I would fight it the same way. I have my style, and we go over what we go over in the gym. We have the game plan, and I just go over the game plan. But my style is come forward and never stop throwing, so I do the same thing.
How about?
I would try to throw more punches than we did already, but we threw millions of punches that fight. Yeah, just stay with the pressure.
How about some of the, the fact that I know a lot of times with some of the title fights, some are, you can actually position and negotiate for 3-minute rounds as opposed to 2-minute rounds. And correct me if I'm wrong, was the fight against Feliciano, were you negotiating 3-minute or 2-minute rounds in that fight?
No, minutes never been talked about in any of my contracts. And to tell you the truth, I wouldn't do 3 minutes because we don't get paid what we should be getting paid now as women. If you want me to fight an extra minute, you have to give me some extra money anyway. So if you want us to fight like men, you're going to have to treat us like men. This is my opinion. Because I know other girls are like, oh, yeah, they'll fight the street. But, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I train on threes. Threes is nothing. Why would we do that if we're already not treated right? You know what I'm saying? So,
well, let's talk a little bit about that for a minute. And again, a couple minutes with Shelly Vincent joining us inside the Journeymen Boxing Studios. This is Double Jab Radio. Rich Quinones here on a Saturday. And you mentioned the fact that you fought for belts before. Obviously, you're undefeated. You've won different variety of belts, UBF, other belts along the way. And we always talk about the state of female boxing, and it does seem to be fair that over in Latin America and in Europe, there's more respect for female boxers, and they have more opportunities to fight for belts, bigger paydays, better purses. I mean, a perfect example, tonight, I believe Vanessa Tambora is taking on Daniela Bermudez, and that's for the WBO title in Argentina. So there's always opportunities there. So you mentioned the fact that, if they want to treat you like men, they got to pay you like men. With that being said, you've been around for a while now. Where do you see the state of female boxing, and do you think it's getting the respect and recognition it deserves in the States?
It's definitely not getting the respect in the it's definitely not getting any of that. It's going to take a strong man like Ward, Mayweather, Pacquiao, somebody to put us on the card. De La Hoya, somebody like that to put this on the card and give us a chance. Like, their thing is, nobody wants to see you, you're a girl. I sell more tickets than any man in this area. My last fight, I sold out the arena by myself, you know what I'm saying? So they can't say, and I had fight of the night, so they can't say that I'm not entertaining and I'm not drawing the crowd in. So why wouldn't I deserve to get paid more than the men?
Okay, well, let me ask you this, and let me play devil's advocate for a minute. You've got the name, you've got the belts, you've got a great ranking. Like I mentioned, in your respective division, you're considered one of the best in the world. With that being said, then, are you setting a precedent where, and I'm agreeing what you're saying, but I'm playing devil's advocate, are you setting a precedent where there's going to be other boxers who have the name recognition like you do, where they're going to get more money as opposed to maybe a young female boxer who's only had 2 or 3 fights under her belt? Is it pay me for what I'm worth, or are you trying to make it a level playing field here?
No, I'm saying there's other girls out there like me that do all the crowd and all that stuff, but I'm not fighting for me. I'm fighting for the future of the kids coming up. So that the little girls that's following in our footsteps, they get the respect and the recognition. You know what I'm saying? The recognition that they deserve and the pay that they deserve and all that stuff. Because we working just as hard as the men. They're gonna be working just as hard as the men, and we do everything exactly the same that the men do. So why shouldn't we get that respect? You know what I'm saying? And the pay and the compensation and all that. You know.
Well, listen, I think first, yeah, and I think first of all, I think your division right now, super bantamweight division. When you look at Salazar, yourself, Heather Hardy doing great things in New York, Calicia West.
Sorry, I just had to add that in there. Okay.
Are you going on one more time now? Are you going on record with that?
Huh?
Is that an on-record comment, or is that in jest?
No, that's on the record. I think Heather Hardy's a bum. I think she's a fraud. I've been calling her out for 2 years. She knows that I would break her down. She knows I'll mess up her record. She doesn't fight anybody that's talented. She fought Jackie, and Jackie beat the brakes off of her. You know what I'm saying? I think they should strip off her belt, because I challenged her how many times. She said no. She's in my weight class. I'm number 2. She's number 3, you know, we both have the same records. We're both from the East. A lot of money we made. She sells tickets like I sell tickets. Why should, if we're that close and close to each other, why is she fighting these other girls when I'm telling her I offered to fight her at the Barclay? She said no. You know, like why should she be able to have that belt if she's picking these people that she's fighting? She has to fight somebody. She has to step up. She has to take a test, and she's not doing that. And I think that's what hurts our sport.
Well, objectively speaking, I saw the bout against Jackie. I thought Jackie won that bout. Objectively speaking.
Jackie won that belt easy. Jackie was about to knock her out. That's why Devin said to stop the fight. Then all of a sudden the ref jumped in and said that he stopped it. Devin was waving off that fight, so that should have been a retirement. I was there also.
But with that being said,
I go to most of her fights.
Did you? I know you. Well, that's where I'm going to get. I know you do, because did you not challenge her ringside after her fight?
2 times. Yep.
Now let me ask you something. Again, I can appreciate the passion and the feistiness, but do you think? Be honest now. Do you think there's a right way to call out a fighter and get that fight, or a wrong way?
The men do it, and nobody talks about it. So you know what? I'm going to do it too.
I can't argue.
The men do. I'm doing it. I'm half man, half amazing. You know what I'm saying? I have a voice. I'm going to use it, and you know, the men do it. I'm going to do it. There's nothing wrong with what I did. Boxing is more than just boxing in a sport. It's entertainment, and I bring the entertainment part to the females also. You know, there's not wrong with like Melissa Hernandez. I love how she says whatever's on her mind also. You know what I'm saying? But Misfit, I'm not going to conform to anybody or anything. I make my own rules, and I mean, I go by rules, but I'll never hurt nobody or nothing. But you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna fight for what I think is right, and I'm gonna say what I want to say, and I'm gonna fight for what I think I should fight for. And, you know, I fight for kids. I fight for my mother. I fight for anybody that's been abused. And, you know, I have a big, long story and a very bad childhood that I overcame, and I used the boxing to get me through that. So. Well,
listen, I can't, again, I can only respect that. I can't argue with any of those points. And they're fair points. And you bring up a very fair point where there is a double standard there. There is. We know that. And if that's the way you get the fight, if that's how you market yourself, and that's how some girls do it, then so be it. You're right. There's a lot of trash talking in men's boxing as well. With that being said,
that's why everybody wants to watch it, because they know these people don't like each other, and that's why people want to watch it. They're like, oh man, you know. And then with the girls, it's kind of like, oh, all right, and they expect us to be timid and everything. No, but no.
But see, you know what? But that's where I'm going to disagree with you, because I've called a lot of women's boxing over the year, and I think they're extremely talented, and there's You're absolutely right. And I understand a lot of the backstories, and I can appreciate it. The 9 to 5s to going to school, the raising the kids, the single moms. I get all that. So I'm going to disagree with you in that regard. I just think the sport is just not marketed enough. And to be honest with you, there's no reason why. Look, that card tonight, that title fight in Argentina, they're headlining that card. Now, I don't expect realistically for an HBO Showtime to put you guys on as a main event. Not right now, but I can see. I mean, let's be realistic. But I can see local. Yeah, I can certainly see local television, some of the other channels as well. You know, the FS1, the NBC, the CBS, the Spike. If Esquire's, there's talk maybe they might do some things with boxing. I can see that putting there, but I think that some of the fans, there are just uneducated boxing fans out there who don't really follow female boxing and understand there are some.
But they don't follow it because a lot of people don't know about it. Like before, they was putting Christy Martin on the undercards for Tyson. So it was knowing it was kind of happening. And then we had Ali around, and then once she left, it kind of faded off again. But we need somebody to do that again. Start putting it in the spotlight, giving it a chance, and having the people. Because I promise you, if I was on television, look at the way I sold tickets. Now, the people all around the world that don't, I have people that fly in from other states that I don't even know are coming to my fight. And this is serious. And you know what I'm saying? So imagine the people that couldn't come, my family on the other side. I got a lot of people following me. I looked on my Facebook page. I had people in Afghanistan following me. And it was crazy. I never looked at it. I looked at it the other day. All them people would tune in and watch, you know? But it's like nobody will give us a chance. So we can get the views. You know what I'm saying? Ava Knight, she's amazing. Felicia West, she's amazing. Amanda Serrano, she's amazing. Like, the people want to see these people. Melissa Hernandez, Alicia Ashley, you know what I'm saying? Like people would stay to see these fights and watch it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying pay-per-view or anything, but yeah, if they did give us a shot on TV, that people would tune in and watch it. I promise you that. As long as they put the right fights on, because they usually put on the pretty girls with the hair, and they can't even fight half the time. And you know I'm like. They put the wrong ones on. They put the wrong ones on, and they don't give the right ones the chances. That was hard. She's amazing too. You know what I'm saying? Like mention her and then they don't think. Yeah. You know?
No, I saw Amanda take on Carla Torres in Long Island a couple weeks ago, and she's certainly the real deal. Let me ask you this. Yeah, well, she jumps on her opponent. Yeah, she does. Yeah, she moves around well, and she goes in for the kill. She ends it very early. So if there's one fighter out there right now who you want to fight, now you mentioned Hardy, and you were kind of blasting her, and you have your own reasons for that. But why? Why do you want that fight?
She's undefeated. You know what I'm saying? Why would I want the undefeated fighter? She's here. I don't like her. She knows I don't like her. I really don't like her. I want to fight her. That's who I want to fight. It's personal. It's more than that. Plus, it's good for women's boxing because we both sell. We both draw a big crowd. We could sell out. You know what I'm saying? We place will be packed for two women, two top women, two women with belts. Why wouldn't it be her? That's the Yankees and the Red Sox right there. You know, I'm the Yankees because I love New York. But it's Paz Hagen. You know what I'm saying? I want her. That's what I want.
Shelly Vincent joining us for a couple of moments inside the Journeyman Boxing Studios, Double Jive Radio on a Saturday. I'm your host, Rich Quinones. All right, before I let you out of here, a couple things. So obviously you have Hardy on the radar, and I would assume you can care less. You'd have that fight in the backyard. I would draw to that assumption.
I'll fight her in the backyard as long as there's some rope and some officials there. But she's never going to fight me, though. We already know that she's not going to fight me until it's forced or something.
Where do you see now with the Olympics and level playing field with some of these classes and a lot of younger girls taking up amateur boxing, where do you see female boxing over the next 5 years? I don't want to have this conversation with you 5 years from now, and we're still talking about getting female boxing on the network. So, what's the message out there?
I mean, Clarissa Shields, she's amazing. She did great out there. I don't think they did enough for her after, but I mean, hopefully it picks up. Hopefully we get the more weight classes and everything. What I'm going to do to help the sport and the women is I'm going to throw a couple of fundraisers together. Because, you know, when the guys win, they pay for them and they send them over to go to the nationals and stuff. Well, I'm going to throw a whole fund together. I'm going to do the fundraisers, and I'm going to send the girls away. I'm going to give them the money that I'm making. I'm going to give the girls that win locally the money to go for their travel and their hotel and their plane and everything.
And then where do you see the next year or so? Do you think there's going to be a good surge here in female boxing? Is that your hope?
We go over there, like the women are the only ones that won the last Olympics. So I think that we proved, you know what I'm saying, we deserve to be there, and that people want to see it. And you know, hopefully they get a couple more weight classes in there and it showcases more. And it does pick up. Does it change? I don't know. I mean, we've been fighting for a long time now, and I think it has picked up a little bit, but not enough to where it needs to be. And yeah, I'm hoping that in the 5 years it changes drastically, which it could. Gives me that one chance, you know. And
before I let you get out of here, if you want to plug anything you're doing as far as a website or social media, Facebook, Twitter, floor is yours.
Twitter and Instagram, I'm at Shelito's Way. Facebook, Shelito's Way Vincent, and I have a fan page that says Shelito Vincent.
They call her Shelito's Way. She's Shelly Vincent. She joined us a couple moments on this edition of Double Jab Radio from the Journeymen Boxing Studios. To come on anytime because you're good radio, as we like to say.
Thanks, my man. I appreciate it.
So there you have it, another edition of Double Jab Radio live from the Journeymen Boxing Studios in the books on a Saturday. Special thanks to Shelly Vincent for jumping on board for a couple moments. And don't forget, check us out online as always, journeymanboxing.com. Follow us on Twitter, RichQ1Q. And of course, thank you to our sponsors for today's show. Gracias por su tiempo. Casanova Boxing Gloves, Victory Boxing Gym, and of course, the Atlantic City Pal. Always making a difference. Everyone have a nice Saturday. Todo el mundo tiene un buen sábado. And for our friends in Spain or Latin America tuning in online worldwide at journeymanboxing.com. Oh, mercy nosotros, amigos en España y América Latino. Gracias por tu tiempo también. Thank you for your time as well. Until then, it's not the destination, but it's the journey you should enjoy. We'll see you next time ringside inside the Journeyman Boxing Studios with another edition of Double Jab Radio.